So what do you say when someone asks if all work is exploitative, what makes prostitution different?
Yeah, no, that's such a good question. And as a college student, I feel like I get asked that all the time. I think first, it's really important to note that we're not comparing how exploitative different systems are to each other, different industries. We don't want to privilege a certain type of violence over another. But that being said, prostitution is really unique because most other trades and industries don't come with prerequisites such as rape, physical assault, PTSD, lifelong mental health and physical health issues. So I think it's really important to note the inherent violence that's present within the system of prostitution.
Absolutely, that is such a great point. And then also just thinking about the fact that no other area of work is based off of oppression and continues to oppress and continues to disable and traumatize the people, you know?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of, especially I think the discourse among like our generation, and like I hear my friends use terminology that implies that prostitution is a form of work. I think that in itself, if you do take that argument that it is a form of work, you have to think about that this billion-dollar industry requires that women and marginalized people are viewed as sex objects, are purchased. We're not talking about objects, we're talking about human bodies. And I think that is what inherently makes it exploitative. And we have to remember that it's just, we can't legitimize this as a form of work.
Right, and not many trades are built on, just like Bree was saying, sitting at the intersection of all different kinds of oppressions, misogyny, homophobia, racism, transphobia. I mean, the sex trade wouldn't exist without these intersecting oppressions fueling it.
Absolutely.
I mean, the term sex work itself just seems to sanitize everything that it really encompasses, and using the language of commercial sexual exploitation is more really encompassing of the larger experiences and, in fact, the violence that really becomes inherent in most people's experiences, especially those who are especially vulnerable to abuse and entering what we call the life.
Absolutely. I think the majority of people think that violence in the sex trade is the exception, but what they fail to understand is that it's actually the norm.